himself, Alex Higgins.
Here's another hurricane Michael Fish couldn't have seen coming. Alex Higgins is in town. He played snooker with flair, flamboyance and a flagon of Smirnoff to hand. Snooker would never be the same after the hurricane.
Fantastic snooker player to watch, a real entertainer.
My favourite player has to be Higgins, Hurricane Higgins. I just loved him.
He was that kind of unknown quantity, you know, madman, but genius, with a Q.
True Alex Higgins style.
You can't underemphasise the effect that Alex Higgins had on snooker.
Irish Hurricane himself, Alex Higgins.
Alex was just a one-off. They loved him, win or lose.
There'd be 40 blokes up in the rafters, you know, in that kind of, come on, you brother! Everybody else very well behaved, and him with his own particular following of Party 7 carriers.
Bloody Mary.
I didn't know you could have anything more than a single. Do you know what I mean? He kind of pushed the concept of no put through your forward, the less of a mixer.
Even by the misspent standards of snooker, he was no role model. But to a sport starved of glamour, he was, well, who was he like?
You can imagine David Beckham now. It was on similar lines.
I think that's called casting all caution to the winds.
And he was the first of the outrageous snooker players, you know, that played shots that other people had never even tried before.
Swerve around the green, onto the top cushion and onto the red. Oh no, he's taking it. Did everything wrong. He stood wrong, he moved on the shots.
Thanks for being a wonderful one. I'd like to finish off now with the one and only Hurricane Higgins.
You used to sort of live every shot with him. And his nostrils are flaring and his eyes are all over the place and he's twitching everywhere.
There was also that kind of invisible fly, that tip that he had.
On the edge, just about in control of themselves.
Higgins potted his way out of a bleak Belfast in the early 60s. A backstreet snooker club called the Jam Pot was his finishing school.
He liked the snooker, and more so probably in school.
In the chalking of a queue, the snooker world was buzzing with talk of this talented and turbulent young Irishman, and the Higgins family had a real star in their midst.
The gypsy came to the door and she said, oh, you have a star in the family? And Mother said, well, that'll be my aunt. And she says, no. It's a boy.
A provincial British Legion was the glamorous setting as Higgins won the 72 World Championship at his first attempt. Winning just £480, it cost him £100 to enter.
Actually, at this moment, I think I'm in a bit of a daze. Although I think I'm just starting to come out of it, you know, and realise that I'm the world champion.
We obviously knew it was an achievement, but to what extent, we didn't really know, because we didn't know anything about snooker. And Mother and Father didn't either.
For the next 10 years, Higgins travelled the country playing to packed houses, usually licensed ones, and people adored his unpredictable genius.
You didn't know whether he was going to throw his toys out the pram or he was going to make 100. You didn't know at all, and nobody knew, and I don't suspect Alex knew either.
After the very first shot, the tide would come off. What? He was thrown across the place.
He was the only one that kept the kind of rough-ass snooker old image alive within snooker.
He had this habit of licking the white ball. And then people started saying, well, you can't let him lick the white, it's disgusting.
Showmanship was part of Alex Higgins' life. I mean, a number of times we've seen him walk in wearing a grey fedora and to the crowd, and Alex was in charge, centre stage. He took over the place.
I've tried to be like and wears Cassius Clay, alias Muhammad Ali. And I think for a sportsman, you know, he's so prolific, you know, he's brought a lot of interest into boxing, new interest into heavyweight boxing, and I think I've done the same for snooker.
Give the people what they were there to see, entertain them. That's what he was, an entertainer.
The idea is to try and put the black ball on the left-hand top pocket. You won't see me here, but I'll wave.
that good? You like that?
Thanks very much, Alex, and thanks, Jimmy. It was an unexpected visitor.